The mud actually feels really good in your feet. It's sort of like some kind of spa treatment. You would usually pay hundreds, right? This would be hundreds of dollars usually.
In this video, we are going to Peace and Nature MPO organic farm in Kobe, Japan. Bahram, an Iranian man, alongside his Japanese wife Shinobu, have worked to develop the farm over the past 18 years. Working alongside their Japanese farming neighbors, they've strived to retain the appreciation of old methods of Japanese farming while integrating along with that sustainability and technology all at the same time. Pretty impressive, right? He's specifically able to accomplish this by putting on weekend events wherein participants can come and experience firsthand what it's like to actually take part in this traditional style of communal planting. This is what you will see today. Along with the community-focused, community-accomplished traditional rice farming, we're also going to hear from some of the students that participated. And don't be fooled, these students grew up in Japan. They're going to give us some insight into what the farm means to them personally in their community, and as well as how are they involved with the farm for some of these technological initiatives that they have in place to help the environment. Naturally, I was in a huge rush to discover what a completely inept rice farmer I would make, but Bahram explained at our orientation that would be preceded by cutting down bamboo first, and that had the twofold purpose of helping the neighboring farmers, but also because where the bamboo had grown up was where the rice fields were, so you needed to remove them first before you could plant more.
So it's just beyond this path, up over the hill. We walk to the edge, I suppose, of the local mountain range, and that's where you can do all your bamboo chopping.
As you see, we have a lot of bamboo growing wild around, but it's covering a lot rice field. And the idea is to clean up, so we will give identity to the village back, because there are beautiful rice terraces here. And we can use the bamboo because it's an amazing grass, work very well in structure, even for architecture. But in this case, we will ground it, make powder, and use for fertilizing the rice field.
There's a lot going on at Ozo Base that tries to involve youth and gets kids out here in programs to get really in touch with nature, do things like the rice planting. But that's an inward initiative, whereas they also are looking outward with the power of technology. So they've accomplished that in a variety of interesting ways as well.
My name is David, and for my school project, I've collaborated with Ozo Base to help promote forest sustainability using social media. The hashtag I've created is 10,000 Tree Challenge Kobe. This project is intended for Kobe, but it is equally appreciated for it to become a global initiative. So please post yourself planting a tree using the hashtag, and this will help this project and the environment.
Okay, so we have our safety gear today. We're going to put on the helmet because we never know what's something that's going to fall out of the tree. And then we have our trusty blades. They were just saying as well that because it's rained so much, there's a lot of frogs, and frogs are food for snakes, so we got to be extra careful of those as well. Now here, I'm going to give you guys a sort of a dark fact. So, bamboo grows notoriously fast, and for that reason, it was used a long, long time ago as a torture device, where they would lay people out over the bamboo, and it would grow so quickly, but still agonizingly slow, that it would grow up through the person who had been laid out over top of them and kill them. Didn't think you were going to get that on Wow to You only in Japan, did you?
Unquestionably, one of the highlights of the day was to see how not only the younger kids, but the students who participated in the day's event were really enjoying the experience. We make this assumption about the younger generation that they're only going to be entertained if we put them in front of a screen, but when they were sharing their opinions of how much they enjoyed it and why, it really spoke to the contrary and demonstrated why functions like this are so still valuable for youthful minds.
It's always nice when the vegetables harvest, because then my mom brings them home and we have fresh vegetables, and you know that here it's grown sustainably, so there's no like chemicals and things like that in the food you're eating, and you know where it's coming from, which is nice.
This is a perfect place where I'm standing right here to highlight how the shadow can be cast over the rice fields And when you clear it out, when you clear out the bamboo that is, these are collective fields in the sense that they're right next to each other in terms of ownership. There's the Peace and Nature initiative here for Ono compound, but there's also all the locals who live here who have their rice paddies next to each other. And so when you clear out a space like this, you're helping yourself, but you're also helping your neighbor, and that's another kind of act of community that they're trying to support with the initiative here. Next up in our day, we're going to plant some rice. Now, the thing about the planting that we're doing today is that obviously it's without a machine. The whole mentality here is sustainable, and so that means doing it yourself. I think something that's very valuable to feel directly connected to whatever it is that's going to provide you with nourishment, with food. Today we get to directly participate in that, and I think things are going to get pretty wet because I was told you have to wear these half-length pants, and we're going in barefoot, so there's no turning back now.
西洋文化の中では、農耕は各家庭または個人で行われるものであったため、農作機が用いられてきました。しかし、日本の農作具文化は6000年前、弥生時代に発祥したとされ、機器類の発達が伴わなかったため、集落規模での人手が必要とされていました。
Today, we're doing this without the machine. When you have the machine, it takes care of everything being uniformly spaced for you. The way that we overcome that today is that on either side of the paddy, there are individuals that have poles with a string attached to it that extends across the paddy. And at intervals along that string, there are red marks, and it indicates to those who are planting where they should put the rice in. And obviously it takes more time, but that tactile sense of being involved is really cool. You plant one line along that string, and then those with the poles move back about half a foot, and you continue. One of the other details, of course, that's easy to make the mistake, as the line moves forward, whenever you're putting in the rice, you always put it on the other side of the string, so it doesn't get pulled over as soon as they move to the next line. The mud actually feels really good in your feet.
Yeah, it's so satisfying.
It's sort of like some kind of spa treatment. You would usually pay hundreds, right? This would be hundreds of dollars usually.
You're getting it for
Yeah, for free. This war paint is not simply because it feels cool to wear war paint, and I don't do this often enough. It actually has a totally practical reason. When you put this on, you're going to protect yourself from the sun. It's a real natural protectant against getting burnt all day. Not only that, but they were telling me that if you have this mud on you, of course, it's going to protect you from the insects as well. And the insects can be a huge irritant while you're out here. So finally getting to play in the mud again like a kid, but this time with utility, is incredibly satisfying.
Just as assuredly as the incredibly sunburnt arms that I earned from this trip, I also earned an appreciation for physical labor again. It was so much fun to get out there and go about the actual act of rice planting. I've always been curious to do that, and so thanks so much to Bahram's team for being so accommodating. I feel like a changed man after this. I will never look at the food on my table here in Japan in quite the same way, and it will be with an even greater appreciation. Thank you as well for watching and tuning in. Usual stuff. If you enjoyed this, please do let us know by hitting a like, by leaving a comment, maybe hit that bell notification. For now, that's all. Have a great day. Take care out there, and we'll catch you in the next video.